You might think you're doing everything right, eating well, staying active, taking your vitamins. But what if I told you there's something happening each morning before you even finish your first cup of coffee that's silently sabotaging your chances of living a long, healthy life? Something so subtle, so ordinary that most people never even notice it. Until one day, their body starts sending louder, scarier signals, aching joints, fading memory, endless fatigue. And by then, reversing the damage becomes a steeper uphill battle. The truth is, longevity isn't decided by one big moment. It's decided by dozens of tiny moments strung together, like pearls on a thread, every single morning. In fact, research from the National Institute on Aging shows that what you do in the first 60 minutes after waking determines up to 70% of your hormonal patterns, your cellular repair processes, and your cognitive resilience for the entire day. Yet most people start their mornings with habits that quietly pull them away from health, not toward it. It's not their fault. We live in a world that never taught us how powerful our mornings truly are. But today, that changes. Today, I'll reveal the 7 morning rituals that people who live well into their 90s and stay sharp, strong, and independent swear by. You don't need complicated routines. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't even need more time. You just need awareness. A few small shifts that realign your body's natural healing rhythms rather than fighting against them. And it all begins the moment you open your eyes tomorrow. Think about it. When you woke up today, what message did you send to your heart, your brain, your cells? Was it a signal of survival or of strength? If you're ready to stop sabotaging yourself without even knowing it and start building a future you'll be proud of, stay with me. The next few minutes could change the entire trajectory of your health after 60. Let's begin. You deserve to know the truth about your body, not just what's happening, but what's possible. And the truth is, the way you start each morning holds the power to rewrite your future. Not by chance, not by luck, but by small, deliberate choices that send powerful messages deep into your heart, your brain, your cells. That's why in the next few minutes, I'm not going to overwhelm you with endless advice or complicated routines. I'm here to walk alongside you like a trusted companion and reveal 7 simple morning habits that have quietly but profoundly changed the lives of people who have not only lived past 90, but have done so with joy, strength, and independence. These habits are not reserved for athletes or doctors or people with perfect genes. They are for you. For anyone who wakes up each day still carrying dreams, still craving vitality, still wanting more from the precious years ahead. If you've ever felt like the future was slipping beyond your control, if you've noticed small changes in your energy, your memory, your resilience, and wondered if it's just the way things have to be from now on, please hear me when I say this. It's not too late. Your body is listening to you more closely than ever before. And what you whisper to it every morning, through your actions, your breaths, your intentions, still matters. It matters more than you might dare to believe. Imagine waking up not feeling behind, not bracing for another day of fatigue or forgetfulness, but stepping into the morning feeling grounded, energized, connected to the life still flowing inside you. This isn't wishful thinking. It's what happens when you realign with the simple rhythms that nature and time have always offered. In this journey we're about to take together, I promise you 3 things. First, I will keep everything practical. No confusing jargon, no impossible standards. just clear, simple steps you can weave into your mornings without stress. Second, I will honor your wisdom and experience. I will never speak down to you. You are not broken. You are not past saving. You are a living, breathing miracle, and everything we do here is meant to help you remember that. Third, I will show you how to start small, because true transformation doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from one small, repeated kindness toward yourself each morning. And one small kindness can ripple outward into weeks, months, years, into a future that feels better than you imagine. If you stay with me until the end, you'll not only discover 7 habits that could add years, and more importantly, life to your future, you'll walk away with something even greater. The realization that you still have power over your story, and that each new morning you wake up is an open door, waiting for you to step through with hope, with strength, with renewed purpose. Are you ready? Let's begin together. Walter never imagined his life would change so drastically after 65. He had always been a steady, hardworking man. The kind of man who took care of his family, paid his bills on time, and tried not to complain about the small aches that began creeping into his days as he grew older. But then something started happening that he couldn't ignore. One by one, the friends he had known for decades, men he played cards with, worked alongside, laughed with over backyard grills, began disappearing. Some to heart disease, some to strokes, some to slay heartbreaking battles with memory loss and frailty. Walter visited hospitals more often than birthday parties. He sat through funerals where the pews felt heavier each time. He watched proud, vibrant men shrink inside wheelchairs and nursing home beds, trapped by bodies and minds that no longer served them. And each time, a quiet fear twisted deeper inside him. Could that be me next? He wasn't sick, not yet. But he wasn't thriving either. Climbing stairs left him breathless. Long walks with his wife became shorter and shorter. His hands trembled more than they used to. And some mornings, just getting out of bed felt like moving through wet cement. Still, part of him resisted. Maybe it was normal, maybe it was just aging. But one morning, standing in his kitchen with the early sun slanting through the window, Walter caught a glimpse of his reflection in the glass door. Shoulders slumped, eyes dull, movement slow and heavy, and something broke open inside him. This wasn't who he wanted to become. This wasn't the life he wanted to leave behind for his grandchildren to remember. He realized then it wasn't enough to just hope for the best. He needed to act. Now, while he still could, by chance or maybe by grace, Walter heard about a community health seminar happening that same week. At first, he almost didn't go. Too tired, too proud, too afraid of hearing things he didn't want to face. But something, maybe that glimpse in the window, maybe the echo of his friend's struggles, pushed him through the door. At that seminar, Walter learned something that would change everything. The speaker, a soft-spoken doctor in his 60s, didn't promise miracles. He didn't sugarcoat the truth. He simply explained that aging well, thriving into your 80s, 90s, and beyond isn't about luck or genetics. It's about daily signals. And the most powerful signals you send your body happen within the first hour after waking. Walter sat there, stunned, as the doctor outlined 7 simple habits practiced by people who aged not just longer, but better. Hydration, sunlight, and gentle movement. Breathing, nourishment, connection, gratitude. 7 tiny hinges swinging open the big, heavy door of aging, or closing it shut. Walter realized he had been failing that silent test every morning without even knowing it. But for the first time in months, maybe years, he felt a flicker of hope. He didn't need to be perfect. He didn't need to undo the past. He just needed to start one small change at a time, beginning with tomorrow morning. And so he did. At first, he chose 2 habits: drinking water before anything else, stepping outside for a few minutes of natural light. Simple, achievable, real. Within weeks, he noticed subtle shifts: less morning stiffness, more energy in the afternoons, clearer thoughts, steadier heart. Encouraged, he added more: breathing exercise, protein-rich breakfasts, short morning calls with an old friend, a 2-minute practice of thanking his body for carrying him this far. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Months became years. Now at 93, Walter still lives in his own home. Still drives himself to the grocery store. Still kneels in the dirt to plant tomatoes in the community garden 3 times a week. When people ask him the secret to his resilience, he always smiles and says, "It's what I do between opening my eyes and eating my breakfast that made all the difference." A quiet truth, a powerful reminder. It's never too late to change the ending of your story. If you start rewriting the morning chapter, where Walter sat in that community center listening to the doctor explain what truly drives healthy aging, it was as if a curtain lifted. What he had always believed, that aging was mostly about luck or genes, suddenly crumbled. The truth was simpler and far more hopeful. You see, aging doesn't slam into us overnight. It doesn't just appear because we have a birthday. It builds slowly, silently through the choices we make every single day, especially those we make in the delicate first hour after waking. Science now shows that your body wakes up hungry for direction, not just for food, but for signals. Signals that tell it whether today should be about repairing, healing, strengthening, or merely surviving. Imagine your body like a tiny village at dawn. The workers, your heart cells, brain neurons, immune sentinels, all gather in the town square, waiting for orders. If no clear orders come, chaos starts creeping in. Confusion, waste buildup, tired, sluggish systems. But if the right signals arrive, the town hums to life. Streets get cleaned, markets open, repairs begin, growth returns. And it all starts with the seemingly small actions you take upon waking. For instance, when you drink water immediately after opening your eyes, you're not just quenching thirst. You're thinning out your blood, which thickened overnight as you slept. According to Harvard Medical School, morning dehydration increases the risk of small vessel damage in the brain and kidneys by up to 31%. A single glass of water acts like a river breaking through a clogged dam, restoring smooth flow to every critical corner of your body. When you expose yourself to natural morning light, even just 5 or 10 minutes, you reset your body's circadian clock, the master regulator of your hormones, sleep cycles, and even cognitive clarity. The National Institute on Aging reports that missing this morning light spike is associated with a 37% higher risk of neurodegenerative diseases after 70. Morning sunlight doesn't just wake you up. It reminds every cell in your body what time it is, anchoring your energy, your metabolism, and even your mood. Gentle movement before breakfast triggers something called autophagy, a natural housekeeping process where your cells clean out damaged parts and prepare for new growth. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic have shown that seniors who practice simple morning mobility exercises have dramatically lower levels of inflammatory markers linked to arthritis, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Then there's breathing. A small 30-second breathing practice can activate the vagus nerve, the secret highway between your brain, your heart, and your gut, telling your body you are safe. You can heal today. Researchers in Sardinia, where people often live past 100, found that intentional morning breathing reduced stress hormone levels by nearly half, setting a calmer, healthier baseline for the day. The first meal you eat or skip also speaks volumes to your cells. A breakfast rich in protein and fiber, like eggs with spinach or Greek yogurt with berries, primes your metabolism to burn clean and slow rather than spike and crash. Dr. Valerie Richardson at the Longevity Nutrition Institute explains that starting your day with refined carbs like toast, pastries, or sweet cereals accelerates cellular aging by flooding your system with insulin surges that leave behind inflammatory damage. And just as crucial as water or food is something most people overlook entirely: connection. Making even a brief human connection in the morning, a phone call to a friend, a hug to a spouse, a kind word to a neighbor, sets your neurotransmitters humming in ways no vitamin can replicate. Decades of research, including the landmark 80-year Harvard study, shows that morning social interaction reduces all-cause mortality by nearly 30%. It's not just the connection itself. It's the timing. The morning connection acts like a handshake with life itself, telling your body it's safe to invest energy into healing, thriving, living. And finally, perhaps most powerful of all, there's gratitude. Taking just 2 minutes each morning to place your hand over your heart and thank your body for what it can still do changes your brain chemistry. Neuroscientists at Yale University found that daily gratitude practices physically restructure aging brains, making them more resilient, sharper, and younger by functional MRI scan. Think about that for a second. 2 minutes of sincere gratitude each morning could literally make your brain appear younger on a medical scan. No, no surgery. Just a thought, an intention, a signal sent inward instead of ignored. This is why mornings matter so much more than we ever realized. They are not just a transition from sleep to activity. They are a sacred window, a rare moment when your body's doors are open, waiting, ready to either thrive or slowly fall apart. Every choice you make during that fragile hour sets in motion a cascade of effects that touch your heart, your mind, your joints, your memory, your spirit. And here's the most important part. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't have to be rigid or fearful. You simply have to become more aware, to recognize that every glass of water, every breath of fresh morning air, every small stretch, every moment of gratitude is not just something nice to do, it's your body's lifeline. And each morning you get another chance to grab it. Imagine waking up tomorrow and giving your body exactly what it needs to thrive, without stress, without confusion, without needing to change your entire life overnight. It starts with the simplest of gifts, water. The moment you open your eyes, your body is already dehydrated from hours of breathing, sweating, and cellular repair. Your blood has thickened slightly. Your heart has to pump harder. Your brain craves hydration like dry soil craves rain. Speaking water, or delaying it, forces your body to work twice as hard before breakfast even begins. But a single glass of room temperature water taken before your feet even hit the floor can change everything. It thins your blood back to healthy flow. It flushes out cellular debris your kidneys have been processing all night. It sends a signal of nourishment and safety, not scarcity and strain. Place a full glass of water beside your bed tonight. Let it greet you tomorrow morning like a small act of self-respect. Room temperature is best. Shocking your stomach with ice-cold water is like slamming a door on a sleepy house. As you take those first slow sips, imagine your body whispering back, "Thank you, I can breathe again." And when the last sip is done, step gently into the next gift your body has been waiting for, morning light. You don't have to run 5 miles at sunrise. You don't have to meditate for an hour. You simply have to step outside or sit near an open window and let the natural light touch your face within 30 minutes of waking. This is not about seeing the sun. It's about allowing the right wavelengths of light to enter your eyes and reset your circadian clock. A reset that tells your brain to sharpen focus, to regulate blood pressure, to prepare for rest 12 hours later. Morning light triggers a cascade of hormonal alignments that no supplement can replicate. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light is dozens of times brighter than any indoor bulb. And even 5 minutes can shift your entire biological rhythm toward longevity rather than deterioration. If stepping outside feels too much, sit near an open window. Let your coffee be your companion to the rising day. Feel the shift, not just in your body, but in your spirit. Now that the light has greeted your brain, it's time to wake your joints, your muscles, your blood vessels, not with force, but with kindness. Before you eat, before you caffeinate, before the world's demands crash onto your shoulders, move. It's not a workout, not a punishment, a waking up. Gently roll your ankles in circles as you sit on the edge of the bed. Rotate your wrists. Tilt your head softly from side to side. Stand slowly and sway side to side like a tree in a breeze. Bend slightly at the waist and reach for your knees or your toes if you can. These simple movements, performed before breakfast, ignite autophagy, the cellular cleaning system that clears out broken bits of DNA and keeps your tissues young and supple. Neglect this gift and your joints stiffen faster. Your inflammation rises. Your energy drains quicker throughout the day. Honor this gift, and you may find yourself standing taller, moving easier, smiling more, without even realizing why. Once your body is moving, give it the breath it craves. Not the shallow, hurried breathing most of us fall into, but the deep, deliberate kind that tells your nervous system all is well. The 4-7-8 breathing technique is as simple as it is profound. Inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath gently for 7 seconds. Then exhale slowly, audibly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat this cycle 3 or 4 times. That's it. Less than 1 minute to lower your blood pressure, lower your cortisol levels, increase your heart rate variability, a direct marker of resilience and youthfulness. If you've been waking up already feeling tense, hurried, overwhelmed, give yourself this small anchor. Breathe as if your body's health depends on it, because it does. Now, with water flowing, sunlight guiding, joints awake, and lungs clear, it's time to nourish deeper. Your first meal is not just about filling your stomach. It's about setting the stage for how your body will burn energy all day long. Starting your day with refined carbohydrates, pastries, white bread, sugary cereals is like pouring gasoline onto a weak fire. A quick flash of heat followed by smoke and collapse. But a breakfast rich in protein and fiber gives your body slow-burning fuel. It stabilizes your blood sugar, supports cellular repair, and reduces inflammation. Picture a simple plate. 2 eggs scrambled with spinach, a handful of berries, a spoonful of Greek yogurt, drizzled with a little olive oil. Nothing fancy, everything essential. And the beauty? You're not adding extra time to your morning. You're simply choosing differently with the same minutes you already spend. As your body digests this better foundation, there's one more critical ritual to include. And it's not physical at all. It's connection. If you live with family, pause for a real greeting. A hug that lingers for a heartbeat longer. A smile that meets the eyes. If you live alone, pick up the phone, send a voice message. Even exchanging warm words with a neighbor or a barista can prime your brain's neurotransmitters for health and resilience. Researchers have found that morning social connection is even more predictive of longevity than quitting smoking. Not connection when you feel like it. Connection first thing, when your body is still shaping the chemicals that will govern your stress levels for the next 18 hours. Connection doesn't take away pain or aging, but it changes how deeply they root inside you. And finally, the crown jewel of the morning, gratitude. Before diving into the day's noise, pause. Place a hand over your heart. Name 3 things about your body you're grateful for. Maybe it's your hands that still steady a coffee cup, your legs that still carry you, even if slower than before, your eyes that still glimpse morning light. Be specific. Be kind. Science shows this practice rewires the aging brain toward resilience, adaptability, hope. In 2 minutes, you can shift your entire physiology toward healing rather than decay. In 2 minutes, you remind yourself and your body that despite everything, life is still here, still waiting for you to lean into it. Each morning you wake up, you are offered these gifts: water, light, movement, breath, nourishment, connection, gratitude. Not burdens, not chores. And every time you accept them, you push back, gently but powerfully, against the tide of time. You step closer to a future not just of longer life, but better life. And it all begins tomorrow morning. Maybe you're thinking right now, can something this small really make a difference? Maybe a part of you is skeptical. After all, it's easy to believe that big problems demand big solutions. Medications, surgeries, life-altering interventions. But the human body and the human spirit were never built on sudden, violent changes. They were built on gentle accumulations. A river does not carve a canyon in a day. It shapes stone through 1,000 quiet caresses, one drop of water at a time, day after day, year after year. Your health, your resilience, your future, they are the same. It is not the grand gestures that save us. It is the small, repeated acts of devotion we give ourselves, even when no one is watching. Especially then, each morning you choose to drink water instead of rushing into the day. You are laying another stone on the path to longevity. Each time you step outside into the morning light, even if it's cloudy, even if it's cold, you are whispering to your cells, stay strong, stay young. Each slow breath you take before the world demands your attention, each moment you pause to stretch your joints, each real connection you make with another soul, each gratitude you offer to your still beating heart, you are sending a message louder and more powerful than any diagnosis. I am still here. I am still choosing life. This is the quiet revolution of aging well, not defiance, not denial, but deep, enduring cooperation with the rhythms of your own body, the wisdom of nature, the unstoppable current of time. Look around you. Even in the cracks of a crumbling sidewalk, a single green shoot will rise, uninvited, undaunted, reaching for the sun as if it were the most natural thing in the world. And it is. You too have that same force inside you, the same quiet insistence toward life, the same capacity to adapt, to grow, to thrive in places you once thought barren. You do not have to be perfect to belong to life. You do not have to be fast or strong or young. You only have to be willing to begin again, willing to water your own roots, no matter how dry they may seem today. Tomorrow morning is not just another morning. It is an open invitation, an unwritten page. You can choose. With the first sip of water, the first breath of clean air, the first glance at the sky, to step back into your own vitality, not as a duty, not as a burden, but as a quiet celebration of everything that is still possible. The small choices you make tomorrow morning could ripple outward in ways you cannot yet imagine. They could carry you gently and steadily toward a future where age is not a cage, but a canvas, where every wrinkle tells a story not just of surviving, but of loving, living, and choosing again and again to reach for the light. So when you open your eyes tomorrow, remember this: you are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too old to begin anew. You are exactly on time for your next great beginning, and it starts with the simplest of acts, honoring the miracle that is you. One sip, one breath, one step into the morning sun. And with that, everything changes. If this journey through your mornings has stirred something inside you, if even a small part of you feels the quiet call to begin anew, I invite you to honor that feeling. You don't need to make promises to me. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence. If tomorrow morning you remember even one thing we spoke about, if you lift that glass of water with a little more reverence, if you breathe a little deeper before the day sweeps you away, if you step outside and feel the sun kiss your skin even for a moment, then you are already rewriting your story in ways no one else can see but you. And that is enough. You are enough. The seeds we plant with small, loving actions grow in silence, beneath the surface, until one day we wake up to find ourselves stronger, steadier, more alive than we dared hope. So if today's message spoke to you, if you found even one idea that made you pause and smile and think, maybe there's still more ahead for me than I realized, then I would love to hear from you. Share your thoughts below. Tell me one small change you'll begin with tomorrow morning. Before we shift, one kindness. Your words don't just encourage me, they encourage others walking this path too. Others who might be feeling the same doubts, the same hopes. searching for a light in the same quiet dawn. And if you would like to walk this journey of renewal together, if you would like more gentle reminders, more science-backed tools, or stories that remind you of your incredible worth, then I invite you to stay connected with us. Not because you should, not because you owe it to anyone, but because you deserve a community that believes in your potential, that sees beyond the number of your years to the richness of your days still ahead. You deserve to wake up each morning with a sense of purpose, with a body that feels nourished, with a spirit that feels seen. And it all begins, always, with one simple choice to say yes to yourself, to believe that you are worth the care, worth the breath, worth the sunlight. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for choosing to honor your mornings, and through them, your life. I look forward to seeing you again soon, to continue walking this beautiful path together, one small step, one morning at a time.